Grizz Nation, happy belated Thanksgiving. We're celebrating Thanksgiving. We're going to continue it on. And I'm so thankful to have Will Guillory here today to talk about the Grizzlies taking on the Pelicans. Will, you have a good day yesterday?
I did. I'm thankful to be on. I had a great day with the fam. Now, well, get back to talking some basketball. That's what I'm really thankful for. So let's get to it.
Yes. And you and I spoke 10 days ago about this exact same matchup, but it looks a little bit different today. So I am going to start with the injury. Yeah. I'm going to start with the injury updates because I think that is the most important thing just to kick off or to tip off because it's basketball. Okay. So number one, Steven Adams just earlier today got moved from active available to questionable with a non-COVID related illness. John Conchar is also questionable and Santi Aldama is doubtful. So that's two of our big men, either doubtful or questionable. And then on the Pelicans side, this one, nobody wants anyone to get sick. But if you were going to be excited about a player being out today, it would be CJ McCollum out for the Pelicans because as we talked about 10 days ago, Will, he is a Grizz killer. We said, hey, he's going to come in. He always plays well against the Grizzlies. Then he came in, had 30 points, 7 from 13 from the three-point line. He hit 7 threes. The Grizzlies as a whole only hit 9.
Yeah, it's crazy because we talked about it right before the game. I was like, CJ's been going through a little bit of a slump. He's got to find a way to get it going. And you were like, Lord, the Grizzlies are going to be the reason if it finally happens. And it does. But now, unfortunately, we won't see CJ tonight. He's in health and safety protocols. It's crazy because he just got over a flu like a couple weeks ago, and then he got sick again. So now he's going to be out for this game. Trey Murphy's questionable. He's been dealing with a little bit of a foot issue. So yeah, the Pelicans are going to be much different. And last time Zion didn't play. So this time around, we're going to see Zion against the Grizzlies. So it's going to be a much different matchup than last time around.
Zion versus John Morant. Obviously, they will not guard each other, but it is like the superstar matchup, the 1 versus the 2 that we really haven't seen since like early last year, right?
Yeah, and the crazy thing is Zion is coming off of his best game of the season. I think, last time out, he had 32 points. He made 11 straight shots in the second half, was just dominating the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, Willie Green put him back in the game in the fourth quarter when the Pels were up 20. I was like, come on, Willie, just take it easy on these poor guys. They can't stop Zion. It was crazy because, Zion has gone through his ups and downs this year, coming back from that foot injury. He's had some issues on defense. He's had some games where he's only had like 5 or 6 shot attempts. He's trying to figure out how to fit in with this Willie Green system, a brand new team around him. But last game, he looked like vintage Zion, just dominating in the paint. I tweeted his shot chart after the game. He had like 1 million shots right at the rim. So yeah, it's gonna be I think that was the approximate number, 1 million. So I think it's gonna be a really interesting matchup. And like we said last time, Jaren Jackson versus Zion, the guy who lives at the rim, one of the best shot blockers in the league. I think we're gonna see those two guys meeting head first at the rim a lot tonight. It's going to be fun to watch.
Another matchup that we talked about was Dillon Brooks versus whoever he guards. He had 19 points in the last game. Who do you think? Okay, let's take out Ja and Zion. Who's like the next matchup that you get excited about with all these injuries?
Yeah, I think Dillon Brooks is going to have a very tough matchup with Brandon Ingram. While Zion was going crazy last game, Brandon Ingram had 17 points and 10 assists, showing more of his playmaking side. It's something he's really grown with over the past 2 seasons. I think being able to set up his teammates, understanding, when to take over games, when to be the facilitator. And I think he showed that big time last game. And I think if Zion continues on the streak, I think you're going to see BI kind of play that role. And we know what Dillon Brooks wants to do. He wants to get physical. He wants to get inside of your jersey. And BI, I think that's the game plan for everybody playing against BI, right? He's the skinny forward. Everybody wants to get physical with him. So I think that's going to be something to watch. How much can Dillon Brooks kind of get into BI, force him to make tough shots, and then can BI set up his teammates without CJ there?
And now I have another kind of question. It's regarding the last game that we played, just because it was it was less than 2 weeks ago. The Pelicans won 113 to 102, but they also had 39 bench points. Do you see that still being a factor today, or was CJ out and moving like Jose into the starting? Who do you move into the starting lineup, and does it affect the way like the depth is for the Pelicans?
It's funny you say that because I have a Jose Alvarado story out today. You can check that out on theathletic.com. But yeah, Jose is probably going to move into the starting lineup. And I think that's been a story for this Pels team throughout the year. I think the starting lineup has kind of been going through some ups and downs, figuring out how to fit everybody in. Some of those guys have been injured. BI has been in and out. Zion's been in and out. But it's been a bench that's been consistent for this Pels team, whether it be Jose, Larry Nance, Trey Murphy. We'll see if he plays tonight. I would throw Devontae Graham in there. He's had two really good games back to back. The rookie Dyson Daniels. So I think the bench is definitely going to be a factor for this Pels teams. They do a great job of bringing the energy. They bring some defensive versatility with guys like Larry Nance and Dyson Daniels. So it's going to be very fun to watch. And I know Dyson Daniels is 19 years old, but he loves to take on the big time matchups. We've seen him guard Luka Doncic. We've seen him go up against LeBron, and I'm pretty sure he's looking forward to going against Ja, especially last game when Ja was doing a too small to Jose. They were going back and forth. Ja talks a little bit of trash. I don't know if the people out there know that about Ja, but I think the Pels are looking forward to going at him after that last game because they feel like they slowed him down a little bit in that fourth quarter after he went crazy.
36 points.
He went 2 for 9 in the fourth quarter. So they feel like they did a pretty good job wearing him down over the course of the game. And I think you're going to see Jose and Dyson try to do that again tonight.
Okay, my final question for you, because I forgot to bring this up. Jaren Jackson Jr. obviously trending in the right direction since coming back from injury. He had only seven points, but he had 7, 6, and 5 in the last game. If Steven is out, I expect him to get more points, more minutes, which means more production. Is it a JJ JV type of night tonight?
I think it's probably more likely to be Larry Nance just because Jaren has that ability to stretch it out to the 3-point line. And that last game, you just saw Jaren just probably didn't really have his rhythm. I think he went like 0 for 7 on threes or something like that. You don't see that too much from him. So I think just having more playing time under his belt, I'm expecting him to look better against the Pels tonight. And the Pels really love going to that Larry Nance unit where they can switch everything 1 through 5. I don't know how much they can do that with Jose out there. But yeah, I think that's going to be really important just to slow Jaren down, prevent him from hitting shots from the 3. Because, when he's hitting shots from the 3, then he can hit you with the pump fake, 1 dribble, and get to the rim, which is where he really gets dangerous. So I think that's going to be a really interesting matchup. Those are the type of guys the Pels have trouble with at times, just because Larry Nance and JV are so different at the center position. So yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of Larry Nance, a lot of switching on the perimeter, and we'll see how much they can slow the Grizz down. I'm
so excited for tonight. I'm so excited to get back to basketball. There was nothing to do yesterday. Well, that's not fair. Everyone was with their families. There was nothing to watch.
We were watching football. I know you're from another country where they don't do the football, but we were watching a lot of football yesterday for sure.
Well, okay. I wasn't. I was just sitting like, okay, let's prepare for some more basketball tomorrow. Will, you're one of my favorite people. Thank you for coming back on today.
Thank you for having me. It's going to be a fun matchup for sure.
I hope so. And next time you come to Memphis, we're going to go to Kooky Canuck and get poutines and celebrate like real Canadians.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to live that Canadian life. Let's do it.
All right, Grizz Nation, the game tips off at 7 p.m. today. So if you're coming to Fedex Forum, make sure you get there early, stay warm, stay safe. And if you're watching from home, you can watch it on Bally Sports Southeast and the Bally Sports Plus app.